everybody, Mike Steele here with Barbecue Champs Academy Live. Got a great show lined up for you tonight with a good friend of mine and great cook, Mr. Allan Freeman with Chicka-Pacow. It's going to be a good show, and I hope everybody will join us tonight. I know we're going to try to cut this a little bit shorter. Don't want to drag it out long. I know there's a big baseball game on tonight that a lot of people, especially in Texas, may be interested in. And so we're not going to take up too much of the time. Try to kind of just go over a few little things. Really wanted mainly to go over and thank IBCA for everything that they have done to help progress this scoring system along. And to me, I mean, that's what it's all about. You know, they're working with us, trying to get things done. And if you think this is going to be a show to bash them, I hate to tell you, that's not what this is about. I'm already really disappointed that everybody jumps to that conclusion right off the get-go that thought this was going to be some kind of bash deal. It's not what this is about. You know, it's about cooks. We're supposed to be barbecue family. And for us to be barbecue family, we can come together and talk about things. And it's not necessarily a discussion of what we think it should be. I just kind of wanted to open it up more to being like a focus group after they've given us this opportunity to be able to go in and vote. And, you know, that's how we can share ideas and talk about things. Everybody's got opinions, but in the end, the ultimate end comes from the IBCA board and what they decide. And cooks, we can have an input, and we can go in and we can tell them how we feel and what we would like, and we leave it up to the board at that point to make the decision. But I just wanted to have a chance for all of us to be able to come together and just talk a little bit about barbecue, talk about the scoring system, talk about the pros and cons, the likes and the dislikes of a few little things. But if it's a situation where people just want to get in and start bashing, I'll mute you, I'll knock it off. I don't want that. You know, that's not what IBCA is about. And I don't think that's what we should be about, trying to come together and talking about this. I just wanted to open it up as more like a focus group of after we've got this wonderful opportunity to go in and vote this things that they have put before us, and I'm going to kind of go over a few of those things. And Allan and I have been really behind the scenes talking a lot. I've talked to Terry, and I've talked to Leanne. I've talked to several of the head judges. I have talked to literally, I can't tell you how many of the cooks, you know, and they just come to me and they ask me questions. And I'm trying to be the voice of the cooks, and at the same time, I tell them, I'm only one voice. If you want to make a difference, you got to do it yourselves. Go to the portal, and we can open up that, and they will talk to you, or at least hear your answers, your questions, your concern. And to me, I mean, I think that's what it's all about, trying to make this better for everyone. So without further ado, I don't want to get in too far. I do want to always thank our sponsors. Every show that we always do, and I'm just going to give a few more people just a second to come in. But I do always like to thank our sponsors that make all this happen. Be Extreme Barbecue, Mr. Danny Helm, B&B Charcoal. Hey, I went in Academy the other day, and man, they were fully loaded on the shelves. It looks like they've got their supply issues fixed up. We got Lone Star Barbecue Pro Shop with Mr. Brian Crawford, his awesome Crawford barbecue rubs. And Papa Joe Grilling Supply in Hutto, Texas. I saw they were on here just a minute ago. We certainly do appreciate them. If you're looking for some great knives, Gunnar Wilhelm has some absolutely incredible knives, some of the best knives that I've ever come across. Make sure you check them out. Also, my good buddy, John Lindsay and Ronald Burns, Mr. Hottie Toddy himself, steakrubs.com. John and Ronald got a new website kicked off about a month and a half ago. And if you're looking for some steak rubs and barbecue rubs, you're going to kind of have a full line of everything. Be sure to check them out. Also, my good buddy down in Hempstead, Texas, Dustin Stanley at the barbecue store. Absolutely awesome. I mean, he has bailed a lot of cooks out, and a lot of times last-minute product getting out even at 5 o'clock. So if you're needing anything for barbecue supplies, he can definitely hook you up. Last but not least, our newest partner that we brought in, Red Raider Meats, out of Lubbock, Texas. Appreciate those guys as well. So without further ado, though, let's go ahead and bring in our guest tonight, Mr. Allan Freeman. Hello, Mr. Allan. How are you doing, sir?
How's it going, buddy? How's it doing?
I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well, and I appreciate you kind of, you know, starting a little bit of conversation last week. I know that you had posted a little thing. You and I had talked a lot about that, and you just felt like there were some things that, you know, you kind of wanted to go in and talk and discuss and open it up for us. And you know, the board had already had plans to put something and in front of us. We just didn't know when it was going to happen. But first of all, I want to thank the IBCA board members for moving a lot quicker than what I thought it was going to be. I had talked to Terry back in July when this first rolled out, and I said, like, if there's anything that, are likes or dislikes, how is that going to work out? And he said, well, we're pretty much well going to have to stick with it until June the 30th of next year. And I was like, really? And he said, yeah, I don't see much happening from that. And I was like, ugh. I said, okay, it is what it is. We've got it. And I guess just over the course of time, there's been some people that's, they've opened up this portal so we could give membership feedback, which I thought was a great deal. And I want to applaud IBCA for that. It allowed us to go in. It allowed us to voice our concerns. It allowed us, I know I talked to Terry. I had talked to Leanne. I talked to some head judges. I personally just wanted to talk to them and get feedback and let them really understand so I didn't just have to type everything. And I'm sure some of those messages got to the board members. I had a chance to talk to the board at one time, and they were always open to listen because, in the grand scheme of things, I have a lot of respect for IBCA. I love IBCA. And I just think back what our founding fathers, did to start IBCA and trying to keep it close to its root. I had an opportunity to meet Jeff Shivers, incredible man. Terry Blunt, I had an opportunity to hang out with Waldo, and those were three of the founding fathers. Two of them have passed on. And, it was always about trying to keep that tradition alive, right, of what IBCA was, that core root value of what IBCA was. And I think a lot of people kind of miss that. What do you think?
Well, one, being a former board representative, I respect what that board has to do. It is a lot of hard work. You take a beating day in, day out. It's a lot of tough decisions that have to be made. So, I respect every one of it. It's not an easy job.
Right.
I'd love to see it. That now that cooks do have a choice, if they like the 1 round 4 meat turn-ins, that option is available for them.
Yeah.
And so since that option is now there right here in your backyard, it's let IBCA, get back to the core of what it was founded on, but modernize it a little bit. The scanning tickets and knowing where you finish from first to last, that's great. And that just has to do with scanning tickets and having no ties. But get back to that core. Win your table to be able to advance. I love that concept.
Yeah, it's kind of a tournament style play. I think a lot of people, it's what we all grew up in. I did in IBCA doing. It was a tournament style play. You got 12 boxes on a table. If they're going to take 5 off of a table, I beat those 5. Great. I advance on to the next round. And if I got beat, man, congratulations. I'll go shake those guys' hand and move forward. And, we got another round to go. And at least, if they can modernize it a little bit, maybe just with the 2 rounds like they're doing now, I think that's pretty cool. Up to 100 teams, 2 rounds, right?
Like you said, if the ones that you're sitting with at that table, let's say it's 15, I am truly only competing against those 14. My meat has only gone against those 14. Win your table, be the best cook at that table, and go to that next round to compete against the best of the other table.
Yeah. I think you're right. People like different things. Caleb says he likes the scoring system the way it is. He's done very well with it. So the other people have not fared it. I know if you land on a bad table, it's pretty tough, and you're not going to advance if you land on a rough table. So, and I've had my opportunity of a few bad tables. And to me, that's it's great. I got beat by a judge as far as I'm concerned, and I didn't get beat by a cook. And but I look at some of the questions that they offered to us, in the scoring system, and I kind of wanted this to be more like a focus group. Like, what did everybody think? One of the things that they had asked was, do you think we ought to drop appearance scores? I thought maybe it should, because I'm kind of looking out for the backyard cooker as well. Although even seasoned cook are getting pretty low scores on appearance. And I don't know. I just wonder how people reacted to that. If everybody on here had a chance to vote, did you vote, yeah, remove the appearance scores, or, no, let's keep them? So, well, I don't know. What was your thoughts on that, Alan? How did I voted? I
I,
thought
I,
appearance scores are to drop.
I thought they ought to either drop, because what we've done from the past, and yes, there's always been low scores. You hear that comment a lot. In the past, when it was low score, it was one judge giving one score.
Right.
Now the field has been opened up for judges to where they're giving three scores. So, yeah, the appearance, I think it's a little deceiving. I like the word presentation better. I, as a cook, how did I present this to you? One, how did it look? How did I present? Wording is a big deal.
Right.
In our field of using untrained judges, which is what we like, the general public, is I don't think appearance ought to be in there. But if it is, then I think that's the wrong word. It should be more like presentation. Another organization, CBA, they changed their wording to presentation. Looks like it worked better, in my opinion. So either get rid of it or change the wording. But we're using untrained judges to.
Yeah.
It just didn't working out. To
Yeah.
where you're getting a 2 on appearance of a chicken going in a box that you can only just set it there.
Right. Right.
But that was my opinion on that particular question.
Right.
Drop the appearance.
Yeah, I think most people. I don't know I don't know what to do to fix appearance. Taste and texture, I can kind of understand. I'm going to kind of be where my profile is, and it works pretty good everywhere. But the big thing is like, okay, I cook a pretty nice looking brisket. It's beautifully placed in the box, and I get in 3s and 4s. I didn't know exactly how to fix that. So I was at least kind of glad that they offered that to us. And as a cook and looking out for other people that I'd heard, I kind of voted what a lot of people had said to me, like, I don't really know what to do to fix the appearance. I mean, it's a pretty nice looking box. I didn't think it deserved 3s and 4s. You see the 3, the 4, the 5, and then there's this guy that gives you a 9 and a 10. Like, dang, I mean, that's a pretty far difference. But, another thing they opened up was this, the 5 to 10. I kind of thought that would be pretty cool. I don't know if CBA started with the 2. I know they didn't use numbers. They got, a button that you push, like, what did it taste like, this, and this. But I do think a 5 to 10 tightens up the field, or the scoring tables. I think it brings more parity. And I was kind of glad to see that there was a lot of people that, requested that. And IBCA put that on their survey. So
yeah, that was a great idea to put that on the survey. It opened it up to where us as cooks, if we get a 5 or 6, or even sometimes 7, but especially 5s or 6, you're done. You're toast.
Mm-hmm.
A 5 is below average, awful. 6 is pretty much below average, but it was edible. 7 average, 8 fantastic, 9 over the top, 10 life changing.
Right.
It just having it all the way down to 2. I think some of those people sit at that table and go, "Oh, I thought that was pretty good. That's okay, but yeah, I'll give it a 5." Well, I'm dead in the water.
Right.
It's just too wide of a range.
They're doing the 2 to 10.
Yeah.
2 to 10. Yeah.
And well, with a lot of the posts, a lot of people are making comments that, I saw a couple today. How did I get a 2 on appearance? And it was like everything was laid out. Now, it was a pretty box.
Right. And right.
It's just too wide, in my opinion. And take that for what it's worth.
Well, Cody kind of brings up a question. Does the average taste judge understand the judging aspect of appearance scores? I often wonder if the scoring system is too complex for the average Joe coming off the street to taste barbecue. Yeah, I mean, I kind of asked that question in a competition, like, hey, what's texture? And I asked 3 or 4 people, and it's kind of all over the board. They didn't really even know how to answer that. So, I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those things. So, I think if we're gonna get judged on appearance, then let us put in the box what we want to put in the box. I think a prettier box, if I have to get judged on appearance, is ribs going perpendicular to the hinge instead of parallel to the hinge. It's a lot prettier rib in there when I'm looking at the top of the meat instead of the side of the meat. But it's what IBCA has done. We're trying to hold true to what they have always done. We always put stuff in parallel to the hinge. We got certain ways that we do it. And I'm not here to
Get
to
that. They're
bat.
wanting everything to stay as close to the same as possible so that a box didn't come in and I've got a buddy on that judging table goes, oh, I know that's Sam's. So,
Right,
they want everything to be as close to the same as possible. And I get
right,
it.
right. Yeah.
So I would say, yeah, that the here we go with that appearance again. It's just so broad
It's a
that
little hard, I can fix a lot of things, but I don't know what to do. I mean, I was at one of the competition. I was kind of questioning. Well, do I just don't put my brisket slices in perfect? Do I kind of offset them a little bit to where they're not symmetrical? And I was like, man, I don't ever do that, And but I was trying to. I still couldn't make myself do it, but I was trying to figure out, okay, what have I got to do to get better appearance scores, especially on brisket. I was like, golly, that's a pretty brisket, but yeah, beauty. People will say, well, that's your opinion. Well, it is, but I don't know what to do. I mean, it's a pretty nice looking brisket, and I didn't know how to put it in the box any different to get the twos or the threes and the fours to like at least get me to sixes and sevens, and I'd be pretty happy at this point.
well, hopefully, because I know that the board is going to be making decisions or figuring out what direction they want to go over the next few days.
Right.
That hopefully maybe a few more opinions of somebody, like our opinions are just ours. If
Sorry.
somebody
Yeah.
else has got a better idea or their opinion, they didn't turn in the deal. Hopefully, they'll be heard.
Right. Go to the portal. Vote, vote, vote. Go to the I mean, not vote. Go to the portal. Go to the portal. Go to the portal. If you want changes, go to the portal and put it in. That's how we got.
If they just come in, because even though that survey's over, you could still go to the portal.
Mhm.
And yes, you've got to log in, but come in and voice your opinion on something you want done. IBCA is pretty good at listening to what comes in. Uh, they're going to take the information in. You may not
Mhm.
always get a response, but they are taking that information in.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Um, I don't know. I mean, I think for the most part, there's a few little tweaks that they can make. They're working on it, and it's just. I guess the big thing is, I guess the one thing that of all of it is, I haven't quite understood, and I know they're trying to keep the cumulative part of it, but just resetting the scores. They gave us the option of appearance. They gave us the option of advancing, equal number of boxes off of each table. I've heard some pretty bad tables. I heard one judge said that there was when they were taking 10, 9 boxes came off of one table, one came off of another. That kind of hurts. Another competition I was at, 7 came off one, 2 came off of one, and 1 came off another, and that kind of hurts a little bit, especially if you were the one that landed on those other 2 tables.
That's why
Uh,
I personally like the win your table to advance. If you are in a cumulative scoring, that is going to happen. You're going to have this one table. It's 6
yeah,
different people. They're just scoring a little higher than the other. Let's say there are 3 tables, the other 2. So they're going to have more move off that table and not off the other 2 tables, to where you, you're at a disadvantage if you ended up with one of those tables.
right,
That's
right.
why I'm a real advocate for win that table, be the best food against the people you competed against. But again, like I
Well,
said, everybody's got a different opinion.
yeah, I mean, they're starting somewhere. They did give us that option in the survey, which I thought was great. I voted, hey, let's take the best boxes off the table, and and see
But
how it.
I was going to say, but once I go to a final table, to your point, okay, you have to reset
Yeah,
to a zero mark,
yeah,
because the purpose of a final table is that the best meat has now come to one table,
right,
and now you will compete against each other for the best product of the day.
yeah, and
If you're not resetting those scores and one cook goes in there with a 6-point lead, if I'm in fourth, I'm not going to move. I might move one spot to third, but you don't move much in the final table the way
uh,
it's set now.
yeah, that's the one thing. And Carlos just posted this last weekend. All the chicken boxes came off of one table. I don't know, man. That's kind of disheartening. I mean, did you get beat by the cook or did you get beat by the judge? So I don't know. That's the one thing I think that we need to really be looking at. I've heard a lot of people talking about it, um, and I don't know. If you're going to advance the boxes, 5 boxes, I do think, yeah, you probably need to reset the scores. It happened a couple weeks ago. I was in Midway, Texas. Um, my brisket, and I'll use all three meats. My brisket was 13th going into the final table, and I was like, well, how did I do when I got to the final table? I was 13th place. So now we took the best 15 and went in, and I saw the scores. I ran the scores top to bottom. How did I finish? Well, I finished first place out of the best 15. I went in 13th. I finished first out of the 15 that advanced, and I stayed 13th. I was like, wow, and I said, well, let me go look at chicken. Chicken, I went in 13th place. I finished third on my table. I moved from 13th to 11th. And I want to be fair about all of it. I went in and had a first place rib going in. And I looked at the final table. My rib finished fourth. As far as I was concerned, I shouldn't have won rib. I was fourth best on the final table. So that's the part that's a little hard.
And it's hard for me to. I've noticed the same thing, that if I go in a certain position, and don't get me wrong, under this new system so far, I've done well under it, and then I've done not so well under it. I mean, it's not me coming in and complaining because no, I don't get walks or don't do well, and no, I've done well and bad. But where we have done that, I've noticed that, let's say, like you said, 13th, going into final table, I might move up 1 or 2 spots.
Yeah.
And especially if all the meats are coming off, or a majority, let's say 8 or 9 come off one table, and then the rest come off another, but they're scored a little lower. They're going to a final round, but it's not reset. It's not really moving anything. What was the point of final round?
Right.
A lot of the meats came off the same table, and it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the hardest thing. I mean, if we're not gonna reset the scores, and it's not gonna move up anybody that's in the bottom half, which nobody ever has that I've seen, then you could just do one round and be done with it. So, but
and the core of IBCA, it was founded on win your table to advance, the best food of the ones you competed against. And now with the way Texas is set up, you have the best of both worlds. You want to go cook single round, go cook single round. You've got that with CBA. They're doing really well. IBCA, stick with your core. It's how it was founded, modernize it a little bit, but I mean, get it to where it's win your table. Yeah, I couldn't say that enough. It's the only meats I competed against. Right. I don't want to compete against a head judge or a taste judge. I want to
taste judge. Yeah, you don't want to get beat by a judge. You want to get beat by.
I want to get beat by the cook. Let that cook beat me.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the thing. You got an opportunity. We'll talk a little bit about CBA. I know you got a chance to cook CBA this past weekend. And congratulations on your RGC, your first one that you went to. I have not got a chance to cook a CBA event yesterday. I'm really wanting to. Problem is, I live in Louisiana, and I haven't had a whole lot that's real close to me. I mean, I have to average drive 200 miles just to get to a competition. And I haven't found, there's a couple, I was like, maybe I could get, that's 275 miles. It's a long ways, but I've been busy. But I don't know. How did you like? What did you like about CBA? What was your thoughts? You got a chance to?
It was what I expected. It was well run. I had fun. The 1 hour turn-ins where it just made you're doing a nice smooth. Me, I talk a lot. Anybody that knows me, if you come over to my camp, I start talking to them. I don't get to do that with CBA. Don't get lost, because you've got one turn-in, it's done. You've got 40 minutes that you need to start prepping for your next turn-in. So I had a lot of fun. It was really good. I'm going to be doing more of them. But, my core is, I love IBCA. I've always been an advocate for IBCA. So most of my cook-offs are always going to be IBCA. I love having this new opportunity to where when I want to cook 4 meats, I can go over to CBA. It was well run. They tighten their scores up to where it's 6 to 10. It is single round. Um, so it was a lot of fun. But like I said, my core will be IBCA, but I will be doing more CBA events. And
Yeah.
a few BCA. I love BCA. BCA. But like you're closer to that area, and
Yeah.
for me, if I go do one of those, okay, that's a 4 hour drive.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like my BCA competitions. They are here in Louisiana, so that's always good. But I like the IBCA's because I got a lot of them that are around me, and I'm sure CBA is going to eventually get up here. And like I said, eventually I want to go cook some. I want to see what it's about. I do think that maybe that scoring system I think theirs is more about 6 to 10. It's not a
Six,
number. Yeah, they're pushing
yeah,
like
six,
what did
they
you
don't
like?
they
It's,
don't use numbers. They use
yeah,
words. So that may and it's not even like they're not beside each other. It's just a word. To where that probably makes it maybe a little easier for the taste judges. Um, their 1 hour turn-ins are great. They use the word presentation instead of appearance. That's new for them, so I don't think they know the end feedback of if it helped or if it didn't do anything.
right,
I looked at several teams' scores while I was there, a couple of teams. We were comparing each other's sheets. It seemed pretty, just that word presentation seemed like it gave most of them an even keel, but that could also be that they use a 6 to 10, not a 2 to 10.
right.
But it was fun. I enjoyed it. I'll be doing another one. But like I say, it's most of my cook-offs will be IBCA. But we're going to be doing all. We're going to be skipping around a little bit this year. We want to do several organizations.
Right, right. So
So
what was your walk up song?
anybody that knows Ferris Bueller's Day Off, it's Yo Ho. It's the song called Oh Yeah. Oh Yeah. And then well, it sounds like Chicka So if you ever listen to it, that's partly of what I had to do with the name. But mine is Yo Ho from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Oh yeah.
That oh yeah, that is too funny.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah, chicka-ba-cow. Well, I don't know. I'm really excited. I just think that it should be a pretty cool deal. I'm just excited to see what the board comes up with, and
I'm hoping they come up with something, like in the next, couple of days. I know they have to organize, have a board meeting, get all the people together, which is not always an easy task.
right,
Everyone's different schedules. Go over it, and then we see, what the majority of who voted. I really would have loved if more non-members could have had an input, because at the end of the day, at a cook-off, I mean, we have 80% non-members at a cook-off and
right,
20% members.
right.
So you're wanting all of them, but I mean, you had commented earlier. I mean, how would you do something like if you opened it up for everybody to comment? We'd have people from New York commenting on how the scoring system should be.
Right, right.
No way of doing it, but I wish we could have had a little bit more input from all the cooks instead of just members.
Right, right. Well, I mean, I think that's the big thing. It would have been good to have everybody's feedback, but it would be kind of hard at the same time. So,
You couldn't do it.
yeah, you couldn't do it. I mean, that's the whole thing. So, let's see.
What else you got?
I don't know. Just kind of looking at some of the comments. It seems like Caleb Warden wants me to post his stuff. So, Caleb, look, man, I'm in the middle of talking. I'm not throwing up everything on the screen. Sorry if it's bothering you, but I'm getting to stuff as fast as I can, man. And right now, this is not about bashing anything. It ain't about anything. It's just about talking about barbecue. You're doing damn good this year, buddy. Congratulations. Hell yeah. Go kick ass and keep going. What are you worried about? So.
Look at him. I mean, he has done well.
Yeah, he's done great. Freaking, he's just slated in. Ain't even freaking checked him up any. So if I was him, I wouldn't want to change a damn thing. So
he's not going to want anything to change.
Yeah, he don't care. He's doing. Hey, you're going to do good as long as you land on good tables. You're going to do dang good. That's all that counts. You land on a bad table a couple times, and it won't be so good. So because I've done seen that.
you can't take anything away from him. One, he's a great
Oh no,
cook.
he's a great cook.
He's
Hell
a
yeah,
great
he's a great
cook.
cook.
And then, if evidently hitting the right tables, knowing what to do.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, crud, he is just killing it right now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he has just been absolutely slaying. So let me get some of these comments out, because by God,
Okay,
I don't want to get in trouble about that. So, Anna says they love doing all the different sanctioning bodies. I do too. CBA will be over in Merval this year, so it will give us one that'll be close. That's such a fun cook. Yep, it sure is. Why are comments being skipped over? We're getting to them, Caleb. Just chill out, buddy. Let's see. It's an awesome cook. I'd love to see Mr. Freeman tonight. Yep. We try. I mean, all we're trying to do is just kind of,
well, thank you, James. That's a nice comment.
we're just trying to get everybody, get this thing going, right? So, let's see what else I've got here. I know there was somebody that I had seen. Let me go back through some of these. How do we know all the best meats are not on the same table?
Oh, come on. What are the
I mean,
odds?
okay, there we go. Yeah, there we go. So we got 9 boxes coming off of one table and one coming off another table. There was 12 on each table. Yeah, I don't think, not in this day and age, man. There's too many deadgum good cooks out there, especially at that cook-off that I'm referring to. There was a lot of very, very good cooks, and I see that happen a lot. So no, I don't buy that. I've heard that before. I'm sorry, I don't buy that. There's too many good cooks out there now. So
Yeah, now that if you would have gone back maybe 20 years ago, okay,
yeah,
maybe 18, 15 years. But nowadays there are so many great cooks out there now.
yeah, absolutely. So, but Caleb said all the people are showing up at the big events. So he is. Go win it, buddy. Keep going. Keep on rolling. So, let's
But
see
one,
what else.
you're still you still want to cook, and I still support IBCA 100%.
Oh, yeah,
So,
100%.
even though I'm not in complete agreement with it, I'm still going to go to the events, and then hopefully things will, they'll go where they go.
Yeah, yeah. The board's listening, and it's like Danny said, the board's listening. Is trying to please the cooks as best it can. Like I said, I applaud the IBCA board.
It's a tough job.
And it's just one of them deals that if you're not happy with the board, you think you can do better. There's positions that open up all the time. Go run, and let us know who you are. And I'm sure, I mean, so
on that board, it is 100% true. It is tough because
it's nothing fun.
There's going to be 50% that believe one way and 50% that believe the other way, and that's always the fact. I don't care what issue it is. It is a tough job for them to try to sort out. Here, I think that is not true when you take in all the cooks. That
right.
I think the majority, they do want to just getting back to that core.
Right.
There is a and I don't know that. I'm just, I'm hoping that's truth, but I like that idea of winning your table to advance, getting back to the core of IBCA. Texas now does have a choice of whatever you want to do. So, get it to where you've got one that's doing the one meet, the one round 4 meet. Let CBA be back at its core, just more modern, and it gives all us cooks more of a choice.
Yeah, I mean that's what makes barbecue so great. We have choices. Now, whatever IBCA does is what they do. I don't know how the survey turned out. We're going to find out in a few days. That's the great thing. And I think people were so quick to jump to conclusion that this was going to be a bashing show. Man, that's not me. I was reading some of the comments like, man, that is not who I am. That's not who you are. This ain't a place to come in and complain. It's just thanking the board for listening to us and giving us some questions that I know for a fact that a lot of people, the 3 questions that they asked. Do you think we ought to drop appearance score? Do you think the score ought to be 5 to 10? And would you like to see boxes advance to the final, boxes even off the table? I know I talked to so many people about that were calling me and asking and calling me and I said, just put it into the board. Well, you know what they did? They sit there and put all those questions out for us. You know, the only one I wish they had them is, you know.
I loved one on there. Are we going to the same place?
Yeah, where was the one though about, you know, resetting those scores? I mean, I was disappointed with that, you know, because I think that's what it was going to take to fix it.
Well,
But
they didn't have anything in there on the first section of it, which was going over the system they have now. I didn't get that at first. That whole first section was answering on making changes just for the new system. I wish I would have just skipped those and gone to the last page that was on our system now. But where I was about to go is there was one question on there that went into, it was more of the core of IBCA. It went over how the scoring would be, in like 16 or 18 would go to final table. You would get extra points if you walked in all three meets. Man, that hit the nail on the head. I mean, now you got points from 1 to 18.
18. If whoever goes to the final table.
I mean, first place brisket is never going to win a competition again, because if you're taking everybody on final table will get points. So, I mean, I've had times that I've won a contest that I had first place brisket.
Yeah.
But then somebody else, they had a second place rib and an 11th chicken.
Right.
That beat me. They would have won.
Yeah.
To where you're not going to have that one walk is going to get you a GC.
Right.
And all that takes is sitting there scoring all the final table. I mean, it's on page, I think it was page 2.
Right.
That, man, I love that. So the way that was laid out is IBCA core.
Yeah.
It's to where, getting back to that, I'm trying to read Roddy's deal.
Yeah.
It's
not easy being on the board, you know, Alan and I serve together. It's rough.
It's rough, and it takes a toll on you.
Yeah.
But that one that came in and had that everybody on the final table got points. Now you've gotten away from first place brisket winning it all. Man, that was a perfect deal. I hope a lot of people read that and really grasped what it went over. It's the core of IBCA, plus no longer would first place brisket take it all.
Right, 100%. So, yeah, I think, you know, when I sit there and looked at, you know, what they were trying to fix with what we had, you know, and I appreciate all those feedbacks and, you know, the appearance, the advance and top boxes. I thought all that was great. I was like, you know, it seems like a lot of people has put in, you know, a lot of, obviously that was one of the focus points that it's been going through the portal, right? So they gave us that option. And but man, I was really surprised when I got to that second half. Okay, so if we were to get rid of the new system that we're using right now, what if we went to this system? And I think that's what you was just talking about. That, you know, there was that one that, hey, would you like this? And what you was explaining was, whoever goes to the final table, you know, if they take 16 to the final table, first place is going to get 16 points. 16th is going to get 1 point. I thought that was pretty cool, man. I mean, it really kind of goes back to the roots of IBCA, right? Except, like you just said, we're going to kind of get rid of that first place brisket winning and everything. There was a stretch, I don't know, I guess it was in maybe 2019. I had like 2 or 3 competitions in a row. I had an 11th place chicken. Had good calls in brisket and ribs. Had 11th place chicken like back to back. And I needed, like, on one competition I needed 3 points to GC, and another competition I needed like 4 points to RGC. And I was like, man, under that system, I mean, it would have been cool to I would have got points for that. If we're going to call final table, let's make it worth some points. So I don't know, that whoever came up with that, I think that puts IBCA right back to the core value of what our founding fathers was. You know, advance the top boxes off each table. It'll be 2-round cooking up to 100 teams, 2-round judging up to 100 teams. Whoever goes to the final table gets points. And I'm like you. I think it'd be pretty hard for just the first place brisket to win. So what say you?
I remember going to the showdown, and at the showdown you would have. It was a couple of years ago. I forget if the person that won last year had 2 walks or not, but when it was in before Waxahachie, I forget where that was. I guess it was here. Well, anyway, they came in and somebody had a first place brisket. It won, but you saw other people that had a second or third, but you heard their name called because they were calling top 20. So you saw people walk up there 2 or 3 times, but the only thing that counted was that one call in the top 10. So
Right.
even at a large cook-off, yeah, you'd have that, fifth place, but then a 16th,
Yep.
boom, there you go. It changes, being a single walk winner take
Yep.
all.
Yep. Absolutely, 100%. Walker says, just ask the cooks to go cook. You're only hurting the promoters, not the organization. If you don't show up, you will not make the qualifying numbers to make a sanctioned event. Cook and have fun. The whole thing is it's to help promoters, right? I mean, we certainly don't want to hurt them. But I think a lot of people are kind of getting hurt that going to some of these competitions, they're used to getting 2 or 3 walks, and now all of a sudden you may only be getting 1 or none because you're landing on some pretty hard tables. I think that may be affecting some people, but I think IBCA is trying to correct that. I just want to go cook, man. I want to get back and just go back where you know back out. We're all cooking. I know the numbers are down. Let's face it, gas is outrageous right now. Beef brisket prices $6 a pound for a prime brisket. Food's getting expensive. Cost of things is getting expensive. I think that's probably having its toll. I've talked to a few people about that as well, and I don't know.
The things that are going on are affecting cook-offs. So, yeah,
Yeah,
maybe we cook as much as we do to where what we try to do. I don't go out and try to win a competition. It's great if we do, but we want to break even. If I can get one good call,
hmm
I broke even. I get to go cook next week. So if we're getting those calls, we are cooking week in, week out because we love. I mean, we got a passion for barbecue. Great
right,
friends. You can't beat the people that you end up meeting.
right.
Yeah, like go in and just go cook and be happy. I mean, for us to cook the events that we go to, it's we're just trying to break even, and now
Yep.
it's almost become more of uh, a game of chance. Like now,
hmm
I go to a cook-off. If it's 3 tables start off, I know I got a 30% chance of hitting that good table. So you know,
Yeah, it kind of lowers your odds. I'm kind of with you on that. So, and then if you do make final table, if you're going in at 4th, 5th place or down, you're not moving up. So, I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see how things go. I hope they'll do things that are be more conducive to help the cooks out. I appreciate them listening to us and opening up that portal. It may take them fine tuning it, right? They may we're going to look at this. They may put out another survey. Say, okay, well here's the top. We had one here that wanted the new system, and here's a couple changes they proposed. And then we have this system that'll do this. Well, which one of these two?
oh,
Will they?
that's a great idea. To where they don't want to. They need to do something pretty quick, in my opinion, just
Yeah,
to end all of this. Whether it go how I would like to see it go or not, but it just be done, finalized, and go. Hey, this is what we're doing. Then the door is closed. Then it's like get out there and just go cook.
yep,
So,
yep,
but get it right. Like you just said, that's a great idea. Like if it got narrowed down and they still quite don't know which one, then now with a
yeah,
narrow survey,
right.
take take that to the cookers
Yeah,
also.
yeah. Take one from the old system that they presented, and take one from the new system. And okay, well, it seems like everybody wanted this, and this. So we're going to wrap all that up in one. Here's what we're thinking. We're thinking about if you do a new system, it would be this, and this, and this. And if you want the old system, maybe the one that I think Cody just said that was the one that Terry had made. Okay, we're going to go back to old school. We're going to go back to IBCA the way it was. We're going to advance the top boxes. And whoever goes to the final table is going to get points. If you got 16 going to the final table, first place is going to get 16. 16th place gets 1 point. And, you carry it across the board. And boom, guess what? We've got 2 options that we can choose from. So, and I don't know. I mean, that's a suggestion that the board may want to throw out. Who knows? I mean, all we're trying to do is be there, give them. They want our feedback. That's all I kept hearing. They want our feedback. We want our feedback. People kept calling me and said, look, it don't matter what Mike Steele says. It matters what It matters when you go to the portal and you go vote. And if you don't go vote, it doesn't matter. So go to the portal, go vote, and they listen to us. And like I said, Terry had told me at first that it may be June of next year before anything can happen. I remember him telling me that. He said nothing's probably going to happen until June. Well, let's applaud the IBCA for listening and deciding to, hey, let's put some stuff out there and let's see if we can make this a little bit better, tighten up things, listen to the cooks. And they did. And I guess in 3 or 4 days, we'll kind of hear the results. We'll kind of see what their feedback is. And let's go cook, have fun. That's what it's all about. James says, as long as I can cook and have a cold beer, I'm good. Or no, he didn't even say cook. As long as I can drink a cold beer, then I'm good. He don't even need. He'll let Erica do the cooking, right?
Now that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna sit back, lay back, sit in a chair with those funky looking socks he is.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Knee-high socks.
and Erica will be cooking.
Yeah, that's hilarious. No doubt.
Well, buddy, I guess next time I'll see you is Louisiana. Going to...
Yeah, we're going down to Marksville.
Marksville.
And Marksville, Louisiana. It's going to be my next one, it looks like. So finally get one in my own state. And it's always a fun one down there. It's going to be very interesting to see how it goes this year. So...
well, when
anyway.
You do Magnolia in 2.5 weeks, it's right in my backyard. That's
right.
Another CBA.
Okay.
Do what now? My wife's talking in the background. Yeah, as long as we can get our generator going. But go do it. And looking forward to it. It's the Cooking for Courage cook-off. Then after that, on to Marksville and Marksville. We have a good time every time.
Oh, Marksville's always fun. So
I love a casino cook-off.
Yeah, that's a fun cook-off. It really is. If you've never been down to Marksville, you need to go. Beautiful, beautiful RV park. One of the top 5, I think, in the United States, or top 10 in the United States. And
I could never get it on my schedule for like 6 years, and finally we were able to go, and we haven't missed it since for the past, I think, 5 years, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. I've done it since the first time. That was my second cook-off to ever cook, was Marksville. And that was in 2013. And I've cooked it every year. So it's a fun cook-off. It really. We always go down on Wednesday, spend some money in the town for a couple days, Wednesday, Thursday, and then start prepping everything up for Friday. So.
You know what? Suzette going to spend her money before Vivian gets there.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Man, getting them two together has been brutal. Yeah, Anna, Marksville is our favorite too. We absolutely love it. It's one of our favorite. That, Minden, Louisiana, I love Minden too. That's a lot of fun. But look, I hope everybody's, kind of enjoyed us just kind of opening up and talking a little bit. I really wanted to mainly do this to thank the board. Thank you for opening it up and listening to us. It's a tough job,
If you'd ever been in there, like Roddy had made that comment earlier, that it is, especially like I just remember the years we were in there that I was in there with Roddy. It was brutal. I mean, it's a tough job.
Yeah.
And trying to get everybody to come together is, it's really hard.
It is.
And you get no pay, no nothing. You're volunteer, and you're just getting hammered day in, day out. And I'm not talking drinking either. People are just, they're beating you up every day. It's a tough job. So all of this is all about, us, the cooks, trying to come up with good ideas for the board to try to act and move on.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Kudos to them to have to go through all this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's nothing. And the head judges, they're taking a beating over all this stuff as well and trying to figure out everything. And when it goes great, it's great. When it doesn't go great, then, they're upset with everything. Just give it some time. They're trying to work through this. And,
any new system is going to have, flaws. It's going to have quirks. It'd be great if you could sit there. I saw a comment the other day, make sure it runs perfect before it goes out in real life. You can't make sure it runs perfect till it does go in real life because you're not running under actual, conditions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's always going to be something that it's going to have little bugs. Hopefully they can
Right.
get it fixed quick.
Yep.
But kudos to those head judges for going through what they go through.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would hate to be a head judge and knowing all the stuff that they're going through. They're taking a pounding on all that stuff right now, and it's not fair to them. They're doing the best that they can, right? And
You can only work with what you got to work with. So
Yep. Off topic. What did y'all think about the event at TMS, Texas Motorsports?
holy cow, that was freaking awesome.
There you go. I didn't get a chance to go, but Allan did.
That was one of the best cook-offs I had gone to in a long time. What was so cool is being able to get a call high enough that we got to walk across the big stage the day of the race.
Of course.
So,
that was your bucket list right there.
Man, that was bucket list. It's done. It's over. I had a blast. I cannot wait to go back.
There you go. Yeah, Cody said not to mention the head judges are having to learn a new scoring tool as well. So it's two things tacked on top of each other. So anyway, I'm really excited. I'm excited to see what the board members come up with us. I appreciate everybody that got out there and voted. And that's the great thing about this. It's not about what we want, I want, Allan. It's about what everybody decides and votes and puts out there. And we'll let the board kind of go through it. And either they come back with what it is. I think maybe they come back with, hey, we narrowed it down to these two. What do y'all think? That would be pretty cool.
That was a great idea because there were parts of that were a little confusing.
Yeah, a couple things were.
The board, if they're able to come in and take out, okay, this is the best of the new, this is the best of, revamping our core.
Right.
Yeah, now let's put that before all the members and, hey, which one do y'all like better? That's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to narrow it down.
And it could all happen, because once it's down to, something like that, you'd have a decision within.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's
another day or two.
Yeah, I mean, just waited. Okay, hey, everybody. We had a lot of people that like, Terry's deal with the old school system. Modern old school.
That was Terry's.
That's what Cody said. He said it was Terry's. I loved it. And this is coming from a founding father. I mean, I got a lot of respect for Terry.
Well, and when it takes the if you were at that meeting 6 years ago, I was at it 5 or 6 years ago.
5 years ago.
CFW. 5.
I think it was 5.
I remember the vote. We were voting on a new scoring system, but all we were voting on is to know where we finished and no more times. But that was 5 years ago, and now we've progressed to where we're at now. But a lot has changed in 5 years.
Right. Well, I don't know. It's been a lot of fun. Kiki, glad you're on here, girl. One of my absolute favorite judges. And she always does an awesome job. I can't wait to get out and get to some cooks that she's at. And I'm just excited. I'm hoping that some good's going to come out of these little tweaks and changes and stuff like that. And we'll see how it goes. And, I'll always circle back and do this again and, just keep talking. See what we've got. I think
this was a great idea you had. It wasn't so much, the voting, as far as the survey, it's been done.
Yeah.
It did open it up a little bit to where, okay, the board is going to be sitting down and talking. Hopefully a few, I don't get to see the comments that you see, but hopefully they got a little bit of a perspective of maybe from some cooks that didn't put in get in on the survey.
Right.
I can't wait to see what the final is.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the great thing, is just to kind of see. I'm really excited. There was some good. A lot of the stuff on there was really, really good. I don't know how everybody voted, and that's kind of was wanting to just try to open up a focus group to kind of see where how they did vote, but nobody really kind of chimed in on it.
So we were trying to figure out how the vote went before the board came back to kind of figure out where.
Well, I look at like elections and stuff. After they get done, they'll have a focus group. What did you like about that candidate? What did you like about this? What did you like? That's kind of what I really wanted this to be. It was more like a focus group. Okay, what did y'all like? Did y'all like, the getting rid of appearance? I put that out. Nobody said anything. I was okay. I don't want to force nobody. If you didn't want to talk about it, I did. I thought that was cool. You did. So But the thing is, it was still just mainly to thank IBCA and the board and for opening everything up.
You posted
And
that up, Robert.
yeah, no, that's ace. Yeah, Allan 2022. There you go, buddy. We'll vote you in. So,
Yeah.
and that right there is going to be the next one. You know, I think. Could you imagine we got you and Judy in there? Holy cow! So, yes, Kiki, get a pencil. There you go, girl. You got it, Allan. Get a pencil. Go back old school. You
I
know,
got
just
it. I got it. I
I
got it.
know. I'm with you. I mean, that was a simple throwdown cook off, a lot of fun. You know, I don't understand how to. I don't know how to move up. If somebody could explain to me, if I go to the final tables now and I'm in 13th place and I finish first out of the 15, how do I move up? So you don't.
I mean, bottom line on that, and I hate saying it, if you go accumulative, that means a lot of stuff can come off one table. Final table doesn't mean anything. I mean,
Yeah, just go one round. Then
now,
you'll be BCA at that point, and I don't think nobody wants that. Just give us a choice. That's the thing.
I mean, yeah, keep it to where there's a choice of what style of cook-off you want to go to in the state of Texas. You got CBA, you got IBCA, Lone Star. Is there another one?
CBA, Lone
Yeah.
Star, IBCA,
Yeah.
KCBS. You got KCBS that's in Texas.
Yeah, a little bit.
So they got 4 or 5 of them in Texas, I think, a year. So
I mean,
anyway.
the main ones are IBCA, CBA.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
IBCA, CBA, and Lone Star has quite a few, and that's probably your three main.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So,
Okay.
well, man, I appreciate you being on. We appreciate everybody being on the show tonight. I didn't even know it was going to take. I figured 30 minutes we'd been done with this. So,
I'm glad I'm doing this and not watching the baseball game.
that's fine. You ain't missing a whole lot. It'll be all good. Well, guys and gals, I appreciate it. Thank y'all for being on our show. We always appreciate opening up to let the cooks have a voice, you know, and I'm all about that. I'm all about anything that I can do to help a cook, to help anybody, you know, to grow this sport, whether it's helping, you know, IBCA and any input that they ever want from me or anybody else, or, you know.
Hey, dude, you do a great job. You really do.
Yeah.
You do a great job.
Well, we try, you know, and I just want to be here to represent the cook, man. That's what I've always tried to do. Try to help, try to grow the sport, and you know, that to me is just, it's, you know, it's what I got that award back there for, you know, and it meant a lot to me when I got that Jeff Shivers award and what it was about, of, you know, looking out for the cook and trying to help the cooks and trying to help the organization. And you know, I just reflect back to some of the conversations that I had with Jeff Shivers, and you know, the conversations that I've had with Terry, and you know, Waldo. Waldo was such a great guy, and you know, I just look at the legacy of what those guys did, and sometimes it just kind of like, you know, man, I really wished it would have stayed back to that. You know, kind of take Terry's little deal that he put, and that came from a founding father, and you
And
know,
really,
that's that old school stuff of, you know,
that's laid out.
it really was a pretty cool deal. I mean, if we go down the path that we are, then you know, we're going to be the same thing that CBA is, and there's nothing wrong with that. But choice is awesome, right? We could go do that, or we could go do this. We could cook 4 meats, or we could cook 3 meats. And I don't know. I
love that, and that way it's giving me a choice. So it's CBA is in that lane right now. Let CBA run with that lane.
Yeah.
I get to go cook it. I want, you know, every now and then I love cooking 4 meats. Let me have all 4. Other times, more of a laid back cook off. Get in there and do my 3 meats, IBCA, and that's what I want to do most of the time. Yeah. So I love having that choice. You know, so let it get back to, you know, stay on its core.
Go to the roots, you know,
and fathers did.
Yeah, that's kind of what I keep going back to. I keep thinking, and you know, talking to Waldo, talking to Jeff. I remember that, talking to Terry, and you know, Terry's he loves this organization. He's the founding father, right? And I have a lot of respect for those men, and I just keep thinking, like, man, what if we just got back to the roots of that, And this, now that I know, I mean, Cody said that was Terry's system that he put in play with advancing the boxes, and everybody that goes to a final gets points. Now I was like, that's pretty dadgum good. I mean, it gets it back to where it's what we've always done, right? So
It's sit there and have it to where it is exactly like that. You could scan tickets to where, what the members voted on, 6 years ago, 5 years ago, is that you scan tickets to know where you finished from, 1 to 45th. If there was one little tie like 25th, what would it matter if you were 25th or 26th? You were,
yeah,
you were tied right there, but you knew
exactly.
where in that field you finished.
Yeah,
Scan, scan the tickets and give us that, but get back to the. I love that system.
Yeah, I do too.
I really hope it did well. I'm so curious. I really hope it did well in the final.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, and we'll see how
buddy.
it goes. The board's got a lot of decisions to make. We're all looking forward to them. We'll kind of see how they are.
They got a hard job.
They got a hard job. I wouldn't want to be in their shoes right now. Hey, IBCA board members, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're behind you. We'll do anything we can. I will do anything that I can in my power to help you any way, shape, or form. And I appreciate everything that y'all are doing. I know it's a tough job. I appreciate and love all the cooks out there. Y'all are a barbecue family. We appreciate it. Let's just keep it civil. Let's just have fun. Let's go back and cook. And that's it, That's it. So until next time, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, Lord willing, we'll be back here next Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. Hope to have a lot of fun. Another great show. Who knows what we'll talk about. Allan, thank you for being on the show tonight. I appreciate you. I appreciate your friendship and all the input that you've helped as well. Thank you so much, brother. Thanks so much, guys and gals. Have a lot of fun. And as we always say, smoke on.